Hey there, guys, and happy Saturday. I'm delighted you're able to join me this evening again. Thank you to the guests, supporters, and the viewers, because without you, there would be no Indie Spotlight Philly. I am your host, Shay Renee, and I want you to take a look at in my Instagram bio. There's a link for my new YouTube channel and my podcast. Let's talk a little bit about the YouTube channel. Like, share, comment, review, and subscribe to the Indie Spotlight Philly. All you have to do is go to YouTube, look in the search engine, and search the Indie Spotlight Philly. You will be able to watch all of the past and present episodes of the Indie Spotlight Philly. Also, check out my podcast entitled The Indie Spotlight Philly at Anchor.fm, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, just to name a few of the major platforms for podcasts. And like, share, and subscribe to that. I have uploaded season 1 with 20 episodes. Season 2 is coming soon. But tonight's episode of the Indie Spotlight Philly Saturdays is a special one. We have occupational therapist, composer, pianist, and author, Miss Juliet Aucreman. And she's in the room, and I'm going to invite her to the camera to start the interview. Hello, everyone. Hey.
Hey, did I do that right?
Yup. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
How are you? I haven't seen you in a long time.
Oh my gosh. Well, I just want people to know how lucky I feel that I met you. When was it? 2019. It was such a
Yeah,
shot in the dark. Oh my gosh. Like and I just it was just so amazing and I
it was.
remembered actually the first time I talked to you I was driving and I remember the overpass and I was like, I just need someone who's not gonna flake out on me.
I could definitely relate to that because a lot of times entertainment and music, that's a huge thing that a lot of people have not fulfilled their contract or fulfilled what they said, right?
Yeah, and oh my gosh, you just like your performance was just so alive, so vibrant, so powerful. Um, I mean, when I got home and I showed my boyfriend, he's like, "Oh,
Thank you so much. Thank you. I was really honored to do it too. I really enjoyed working with you. And
oh,
I also want to tell you thank you for being very reachable and able to have you on the Indie Spotlight Philly because I was like, I definitely got to get Juliet on. So, um,
kind."
and I'm all the way in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and you are from California, right?
Yeah, I live in California. I'm from the East Coast.
Oh,
All of my peeps live in Rhode Island and Maine and Massachusetts and so I'm out here. Well, I'm out there. You know that.
so oh, let me put your name at the bottom. Where can people find you at, as far as like social media platforms or your website or anything like that?
Let's see. Well, on Instagram, it's Juliet.multimedia, and Juliet is spelled with one of every letter, Juliet, um, which is not the usual way it's spelled, but yeah, so Juliet.multi.media. That's on Instagram, and then also Facebook, uh, same thing. And so yeah, I guess that's how people would contact me.
Sure.
Oh,
Also, I would like to. Oh,
oh,
good. I'm sorry.
there's also a website. Yeah, firefliesofthemind.com.
Yes, and I have the book for when you
Oh,
first met. Yes, I do. Yep, so guys, I want to fill you guys in. This is Juliet's book, Fireflies of the Mind, a journey into the mind of mindfulness and inner strength. Yes.
yeah, yeah, and Renee, from it in this ADHD conference that I went to, and that's how I met Shay. And so yeah, there's album that goes with it, and it was kind of inspired from uh, a life coaching course I took. There was this amazing um, uh, coaching life coaching course work thing. It's called the ADD Coaching Academy, and such great coursework. And so we had a final project, and I thought, oh, what can I do easily? And then but yeah, the life coaching y stuff is something that I do a lot. Like I teach piano, and a lot of it is, like coachable moments.
Yeah, yeah. So, I wanted to what I wanted to ask. I remember when we did do, I think it was the ADHD. It was like a benefit concert or a show, and it was at the Marriott, I think, in downtown Philadelphia,
Yeah, that's
and it was really a wonderful experience. It really was.
well, you made it wonderful. Uh, yeah, you did. Um, you just like you're just the real deal. Um, uh, it was this big national conference that they have once a year, and as you can imagine, uh, this year and then coming up this fall, they're doing it virtual. Um,
Oh,
yeah, yes,
are they doing it over Zoom?
uh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I also wanted to ask, what is some of the best advice? I know you're also an occupational therapist, and and Juliet is a really, really extremely great pianist. I looked at one of your recitals. I think it was on, I'm not sure, I think it was on YouTube. I looked at the recital and I was like, oh, it's one of those like, uh, I remember like the Kimmel Center and going to see like orchestras and stuff. It was really, really good.
Oh, you're too.
So, what is it like to work with special needs kids as an occupational therapist?
Oh, let's see. Well, they are all so different from each other. Um, when we were in school and they told us that, I thought that they were just trying to be uh like nice about, like, kind of like, oh, these are individuals. That's what I thought that they really meant. But no, actually they're all really profoundly different. Um, and there's just so much in them to unlock. And of course, really, we're all we're all a bit special. you know, we
Yeah.
have our strengths and our and there are a few things that I can do well, and then there's so many things in this world that hmm,
Mhm.
not so impressive, like, directions. um, so so what it's like to work with them, you know if you're in an environment, if you're in a setting where you're allowed to work playfully with them and not necessarily have to only focus on, let's say, scissor skills or something,
Mhm.
it can really be a really profoundly lovely experience to join them in their world, and to invite them into yours. Um, so I that I, the thing is that we are all so much more the same than different. We all have so many commonalities, and we're really all sort of just somewhere along the spectrum. We all have differences, and um, and I think the thing is to be patient and let things come out just the way I hope you're patient with me. And eventually something good will come out. um, but the thing is that I mean, this, like the Fireflies of the Mind
Mhm.
album and book that I did, it was inspired by coaching academies. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh my
Like good guys. Yeah, so they can know what book we're talking about. Mhm.
by their um, course material, which is awesome. But the fact is that really, um, we are all dealing with attentional sorts of issues, especially nowadays. We are our attention is constantly being dragged in one way or the other. We can so really the things that apply for us with ADD or other various things going on really apply to all of us. We're all kind of dancing in the world and trying to make it work and frustrated that we couldn't get more done on a given day.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So you also have, is your music available on all streaming platforms yet?
Yeah, it's on Spotify and
Or would it be on your
gosh, I
website?
don't know. I should I know it's on Spotify and
Hmm.
Apple Music and it's on a bunch of
Okay.
things.
Yeah, it's probably, if it's available on Spotify, it definitely would be on, like you said, Spotify, Apple Music, probably Pandora, and iHeartRadio, and things like that. So that's where everyone can hear your music. That's where everyone can hear your music and your music that goes with your books. What about your merchandise? Do you have merchandise
Uh,
yourself?
I guess it's the book is on
The book,
Amazon.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's on Amazon. Oh, awesome, awesome. That's a great way for everyone to find it. Everybody knows where Amazon is. So you can find Fireflies of the Mind, The Journey into Mindfulness and Inner Strength on Amazon. It's inspirational, and the music that goes with it is really, really, really good. Really composed very well. Oh, what is some of the best advice? Oh, the sound actually went out. The sound went out actually. Um, oh, there it goes. It's back.
All right, I should tell you that weirdly on Amazon, it seems that not only do you need to type in Fireflies of the Mind, but it seems that you also need to type in my name as well. They're
Okay.
so everything is so advertisement driven. I think that you have my name into it as well as Fireflies of the Mind, even though there's no other thing like that. And then so that's the book, which has art in it, and then it's a kind of a mindfulness journey. And uh, and I've actually had lots of adults say that they felt that they got a lot out of the book. So it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't exclusively for children, but
Right. Yeah, yeah, you do. And sometimes I do look at, like, I might look at animation or read something from childhood or read something inspirational to make me feel better, to make you feel better, because it's a lot of things that can give you anxiety and depression, especially with social media and TV and all those things, all those things, right?
world.
So, good. Hmm.
And I should tell people that I have asked Shay Renee to record in my next album, and I'm
Yes.
so excited. I'm so excited. What were you gonna say?
No, no, I was just listening to what you were saying. I know you had sent me over everything, and it was just I
Oh,
was dealing with a lot of stuff, so I'm
oh,
definitely going to get around
I
to
just,
that and
I
get you
just
guys
want
to listen to
to know in case they didn't know how fabulous you were. I wanted to.
it. Thank you so much. Thank you a lot. I had a really good time. I had a really good time performing the songs. They're so well composed. They're so well put together. They're really, really well. I felt like it was like I felt like it was like a play. It was a
Oh,
part, like an excerpt of. I feel like it was like an excerpt of a play. Excerpt of a play. Yeah.
well, you just
So
have
I
such
hope.
you just have such a natural flair when you perform. You're so powerful. It is. I mean, I teach 55 piano students a week, like individual lessons, and it is hard to get people to play expressively, and it is hard to get singers to sing really expressively, and you just do it. You just like, comes right out of you. Yes, that's better than I even imagined.
Awesome. I hope like I haven't did a lot of like singing lately and stuff because of like a lot of stuff that was going on, everything that was going on in the world. But I really can't wait to like when I go back and actually see some like live music and stuff and see people singing and it's gonna be. I hope everything is really really tight like that. Probably like around next summer. I think it really really would be like definitely like everything should be open by then. I can't wait. Like I don't know like what's gonna happen at the first concert, but I know everyone's gonna have a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um,
For me, I'm finally teaching piano live again. And
okay.
gosh, it's just, you know, I think that so much learning really needs to be like relationship based. And I mean, it's amazing what we can do with technology, but it's not the real thing. It's not
It's not,
that
yeah.
personal live connection that makes it all,
Hmm.
powerful. Well,
Definitely.
I guess I'm effective. I mean, I was able to stay employed, on Zoom, but but it is so nice. It is so nice to be able to like to connect, personally with music, and music is such a it, an amazing vessel to connect with.
Yeah, it definitely is. So, what advice would you give to someone um who is coming or like who's just beginning piano or becoming a musician or like because I know like you have a nice or a long extensive history of teaching music and doing music and playing piano and stuff. So what would you tell? So what would be some of your best advice for someone who is starting, trying to pursue a career in music?
Let's see, a career in music. I think you know so much more about. The thing is that
I
I
wish. I,
really, I mean, I mean, I have really, I started out with a performance route, and I was
Mhm.
pursuing, uh, classical stuff, uh, music by dead people, you know, uh, and so, which is a very closed kind of a world, and pianists don't have probably quite the opportunities that I think other ensemble instrumentalists and have fairly. Um,
Mm,
uh, and so the thing is that I haven't after I went to music conservatory, I kind of just really got into teaching and so not as much like pursuing a performance career myself.
mhm.
Um, so the and then you were saying also what you were asking about like uh, recommendations or advice for people who are just
Yeah.
starting instruments.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I have all sorts of thoughts about that.
Mhm.
Actually, I spend for 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 younger people, well, probably for everybody, but
Mhm.
especially for younger people, the dynamic between the teacher and the student matters a great deal.
Mhm.
So if you I mean, I think it matters especially for younger people, um, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's really like no dice. So especially
Yeah.
for people like you could look for the hottest teacher, but uh, if you're let's say your child is not connecting with that person, and there's not a warmth and there's not a kind of a nice interplay, then it is kind of sunk. Um, and then um, uh, and then what I would say for adults that are starting music lessons, and this is huge, is it really is all about forgiving yourself. It really uh, that that matters so much because, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, as adults we're just constantly judging ourselves. We just, I, oh my goodness,
Guilty.
if I you could hear the voices in my head telling me about what, whatever, just horrible,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It, yeah, I that is true. Like, I mean, I'm guilty of the same thing. And especially I feel like when you're in performing arts, it's all eyes on you. You're constantly being judged whether you know whether you know it or not. And then you're constantly judging yourself. So it's like all this judgmental stuff happening, and it's like you said, cooking up right into your head. So like be kind to yourself and give yourself some room.
and the more you know about music, the harder it is to not be filled with that stuff. Because the more you know, the more you're like, well, I could have done that, and I could have done that. I did that. Oh my gosh, you just spin yourself. I said to people, I'm like, I've come to the conclusion that you can ruin anything for yourself. Really, without
Self sabotage you.
it's just it's horrifying what our minds will do to ruin the most wonderful things for us. And
Yes, yes,
and, and then as a teacher, I work really hard not to ruin it for people too, because the thing is that as you learn more and more and more, and then the student is doing more and more complex things, and then you're telling them more and more things that they could do. Sometimes you have to step back and be like, hey, look, in case I haven't told you lately, uh, the reason I'm telling you all these nitty gritty things is because you're doing things so well that I'm like, ooh, this is like a really advanced thing to do. But please, let's not forget what an amazing thing you're doing. Because the thing is that when I
yeah,
really got so negative that eventually you started to feel like apologize for breathing. Um,
yeah.
so
Yeah, it's and the time that we're in, it doesn't make it any better, with all the influences and all that stuff that's going on and stuff. It definitely aids in, like you said, negative thoughts. But when like I read the book and I look back at and I look at back at our performance and stuff like that, that's like the stuff I can remember and cherish and be happy about and read about and look at.
well,
Um, but
well, I know that I always cherish looking back at that little time that we had together. It was so wild. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
we, I took it
yeah.
and I'm like trying to find you and, and it was so great and and you just did so many wonderful things. So great.
Thank you. I'm glad because like a lot of times too when in the music or like music industry when you're working really really hard, I'm sure as being a piano teacher or a musician or anybody that's in the music industry, you often work really really hard and long, and it's nice to hear like when someone really can see that and when they really appreciate that. So I do thank you for that. And also thank you for giving me the opportunity to perform there. So the next question is, how do you, due to all of the things that happened with COVID-19, the pandemic, the lives we lost, the way it shut down, the way it changed our lives, the way it shut down live events, where do you see the near future of live events and music and things getting back to hopefully where they once were?
you know Live events, I'm not sure. I mean, I have friends who are in healthcare and I mean who can say what I might personally comment on is because I'm teaching and because I'm doing all this teaching. um, what I find very surprising is that I like told everyone, hey, I'm live, like now I'm vaccinated, my boyfriend's vaccinated, we feel comfortable to have people back in the studio, and less than half of the people, less than half of my students, they are they're like, well, hey, Zoom works. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm glad you think I'm effective. Um, I that wasn't what I thought was going to happen. I mean, especially,
Right.
yeah. Uh, and so I've been encouraged.
Wow.
I'm like, well, actually, oh, we'll do so. I'm like, well, is there another time where if you
Oh, oh, sorry. The sound just went out. I'm sorry. What were you saying again?
I just didn't anticipate. I just thought that
Hmm.
people would just come in. It's crazy that like my first week back teaching that it was like a third of the people came, and everybody else was like,
Wow.
"Huh, like I said, I guess I'm glad that they feel like I'm effective. But
Yeah.
I think that uh, I do think that relationship based learning is powerful, and
Yeah, definitely.
that's actually the premise for um, for a lot of the psychosocial uh, aspect of occupational therapy, like occupational therapists who are working with children with behavioral issues. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, we're really basically saying, hey, the, the learning that they can do is relationship based. It's not like, okay, do it, like relationship. And really, that it's the same thing. Really, it's very much the same with performing. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
feel a connection, a personal connection with the performing with, then you feel that you can fly and you can be free and you can be that amazing uh, nightingale of wonder and emotion that you are. Like when there's some sense of freedom, that belief in each other, that like that trust that we're just gonna go ahead and by the way, I expect you to make mistakes and you better because I'm going to.
Yes. Yes, yeah, like the comfortability of and sharing that moment with each other. Do you have any upcoming performances?
Oh, let's see. Well, uh, I no, but this album, the next album should be out. Well, by the end of the summer. I'm doing.
Oh, excited.
Yeah, yeah, so excited. So the music is all composed, and actually, I'm going to do some recording in Sacramento. Um, uh, and let's see, actually, I know this is crazy because I am a classical pianist and I can't play my own stuff. Um, but I actually decided to have this amazing pianist, Parker Van Ostrand,
Oh,
record next stuff. Um, and he's just such a powerful performer. He's actually, oh my, he's the son of one of my best friends at Eastman School of Music. She and I went to place and and he is just about to start Stanford in the fall, and he is he is like at high risk for becoming one of the more notable pianists of his generation.
oh, wow,
Powerhouse, and could not have happened to a nicer person. Could not have happened.
wow.
Uh,
That's beautiful. Uh, that's definitely beautiful. So we'll definitely be looking out for your new music and your new book. And um, is there so is there any artists out there that you would like to collaborate, or pianists you or actors or whatever that you would like to collaborate with that you haven't?
oh my goodness, I, you know I haven't thought of it. I've never silly, right? I'm like, oh, I love this person. This is, I know this person. They're wonderful. I love how they sound. I'll do it. Like I have um, um, God. That's it.
Too many? Too many right now? That's fine. If it's too many, like that's fine. Just normally, I normally just ask everyone that question. But I want everyone to, so before is there anything that you wanted to say before I like wrap up the interview?
Let's see. Sure. Well, let's see. So the coming book album thing is called The Crimson Heartstone, but it's not out yet. That Shay and Renee will be in it singing. And I'm finishing up the artwork now, and then we're get done. And then, yeah, The Fireflies of the Mind is available on Amazon, and then the music is on Spotify. And unfortunately, oh yes, there's also a one audiobook that has both the narration with this incredible narrator, Doug Marsh, and then the music is interspersed. And I will be putting the Spotify. That's not on Spotify yet. That is also on Amazon under Audible. And gosh, I don't know.
So you have Fireflies of the Mind. Fireflies of the Mind with definitely put in Juliet Aucreman and put that in on Amazon. You will be able to find the book. You were able to find the book, which is a great book. And you said on Spotify you have the music to this is on Spotify to Fireflies of the Mind.
The audiobook on that. Oh, I just remember. I forgot. A dear friend and fellow collaborator performer, Blythe Schulte, and I are going to put together a music education sort of kind of thing with all sorts of educational videos and stuff. We're just because we need another project, as you know, we didn't do.
Grace, you have some exciting projects coming up. You have some exciting projects coming up. And what's the name of the new book again?
Crimson Heartstone. Heartstone is one
Crimson.
word.
Crimson Heartstone. Yeah.
Yes, that's what you're. And it's a story, a hero's journey towards art, and I'm having a lot of fun with the art and stuff. I post on Instagram. It's fun.
Awesome. So we'll definitely be looking out for the new book, and we'll be checking Amazon for the book, The Fireflies of the Mind, and we'll be checking Spotify and Amazon Audible for the music and the audiobooks.
I need to thank my mentor, Yael Guerrera. He's amazing Cuban composer, and he's actually got a Latin Grammy Award. And I also want my amazing friends, the Schulte Wongs, Big Dog and Cheryl and Blythe, and then my wonderful singers. And then I'm just so excited to be working with you.
Yeah, I'm excited to actually be working with the new project with Juliet, and I and I hope to one day to discover or be in California or to see you in Philadelphia or somewhere close so that we could like meet up again and catch up again, hopefully sometime in the near future. I want to thank all of the viewers. Yeah, I want to thank all of the viewers and all the guests that came in. Thank you so much. And I also want to thank you also, Julia, for coming and stopping by for the Indie Spotlight Philly. And I hope you have a really good evening and a good night.
Thank you. Have a great one.
You too. Thank you. Bye.